How we all doing? Right. This is I don't know what you want to call this. A little bit of info. So first of all, how you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, thought I'd grow one for the winter. Hair's getting a bit long again by the looks of it as well. Anyway, right. So anyway, get on with it. So I bought this, the big plane kits 172, 737, 700 zoos, and very nice kit. How I make it is I do the wings first, so glue them together, sand them down, then put the engine mounts on, or the pylons, and then put the canoe pods on. The wheel bay is pretty detailed. I can remember 737 wheelbase from when I used to fuel them, but believe you me, there's a lot of spaghetti in there. So anyway, that further ado, so it goes together pretty well. There's some very fine engraving in on it. Hang on, I won't put that over here. You get a lot of detail. So you get the two halves that join together here, so you get a line down the middle. You then get the join line there where the top of the wing joins the bottom of the wing, and the two wings, two halves. Then you've got the winglets that sit on the end of said wing. Now I always put little tabs there and there, and some little bits here that help push the sides of the fuselage out to marry up with the sides of the wings. So looking at the fuselage again, you know, she's not a bad old size, is she? You know, for what it is. And the windows, they glue in that way, not from the inside out. It's got some fret that comes with it, but what I will say is if you look on this side, you can see the door handles, and then you look on this side and there's only one door handle. There's no door handle for that one. And to prove my point, here's the fret, and there's the three door handles. You only get three, you don't get four. There it is all close up so you can see the numbers. You don't use all of this fret either. There's a fair bit of it that you don't use. So one of the big, in the plans, they tell you that it's got four, but it hasn't got four handles. It's only got three. So you're going to be one door down like I am. So it works all right for one side, but not for the other. And the thing is that door handle is, I don't know whether you can see it, but it's recessed in a tiny hole, shallow hole. But there's no, there you go, there's no detail on it. Hence the reason why you need the fret. So anyway, the cockpit looks good. I've added, so these are the 3D printed resin chairs, and I've also added the throttle handles on top of the throttle quadrant. The joysticks haven't got the yokes on yet, so yeah, but the whole thing just needs a bit of paint, and your dash or your instrument panel for the front. So the whole lot is decals, it's not just that. And then your cockpit glass is like that, so I always mask up my windows first, so I know that when it goes on. There is a little bit of fiddling around. It does sit quite proud of the main fuselage. You can't really sort of see it, but I've had to sand this down on the flats, but it's mainly the interior piece. You have to knock quite a bit out of it off the top just to get it to sit down, but it's not like you're going to see it anyway, because you can't. So once that all goes on, you've only got your cockpit windows that you're going to look through. You'll basically see the cockpit, but you won't really see the back end. Like you can't see the instrument panel that's above your heads either. So there's that. Tail planes, so mine come off. Hang on, they do come off. There you go. All I did was I got a piece of plastic rod and shoved through right the way through. It's one piece and it's quite tight, so I didn't have to glue it. So that helps, because they give you plastic, tiny little plastic rods that you've got to glue together and stick in here and stick over there. Just stick the white rod through, and then you might have to open up just a little bit on the tail plane where you've got the hole there. I don't think I did, but they're quite stiff anyway, and you can put them on, and then you can, you know, set them as is. There it is. It's a 3D printed APU exhaust, which comes in the kit. So as a whole, the kit is quite nice. It's a really nice looking kit. The only thing is where they turn around and say to you, you've got like X amount of door handles and you haven't, and you've got one door handle short, and you think, no, right, Christ, then what am I going to do with this? These things tend to try us. Anyway, here's your engine. So you've got your main fan. So basically, the fan is a resin 3D print. That's not glued, it's just stuck with tape, because this outer ring piece, as you can see, there's a line there. So I've got to shove a sanding stick in there just to get that around. Then you've got your 3D printed exhaust cone, and then, like I say, this isn't glued together, but then you've got your exhaust, your hot exhaust there, and the fan with the turbine blades in there. So you can paint all of that before you stick this on like that. With the engine as well, the cowling, you get some fret blades, directional flow blades. They're all right, but they snap off. So I'd rather use plastic ones. At least that way, you know, they're on there then. You know, if they come off, they're easy to fix. Otherwise, you're going to have tons and tons of bloody super glue on it. And yeah, and that's where they go. And then what I'll do then is I'll get these all made and painted, and then I'll stick them on the underside of the wing. But until then, they'll stay as is. So all in all, yeah, it's not a bad kit. Not a bad kit. This is not a kit review. This is just giving you a heads up in case you do have one, or you go and buy one because you want to get one of these things. Like I say, they're a little bit. I wouldn't say they're not a beginner's kit by any means, because of the way you have to put things together. They're not like they haven't got locating pegs or anything like that. You've literally got to line all this thing up yourself, and sometimes you have to glue it. And then you have to, so then when there's a discrepancy like I've had with the two fuselage halves going together, and they're like that in some place because they've got a dip or something, or it's just how it is, then you have to cut it with a razor saw, and then it pops back out. Strange as it is, but yeah, that's what it is. So BBK's 737, great one. I made the Poseidon, and I did a series. I haven't finished it yet, it's in my lockup, so I've got to go and get it. But yeah, I did make the Poseidon. That was reasonably good. Another trying kit. This one's not so bad. This one's actually quite a bit easier. So that's that. Now, what else have I been up to? The other thing I got from Model Works, thanks to them. Hi to Ian and Mark, Lisa, and Andy. Those are the four main people I know down there. How you doing? So this came from them, and that's this. This is the Atlas 400, but this is a 72 kit that Rev will do. Now, if you're going to make this, and you want to do the RF version, which this one is, because this is the RF Legends version, then you need to change a few things, because this aircraft, when it came out as a kit, when it first came out, it was correct for everything that was on that A400. Because it was a prototype come first production one. Now they've been going a bit, then the RAF one, along with the Spanish, the German and the French, they're all now a bit slightly different. You have to be a bit careful, but what's on this one is on all of them. So basically what I've had to do is I've had to change so this is all the armour plate in case the blade sliced into the fuselage. So on the prototype one they had spars going across, 3 spars. Basically I sanded them all off, sanded the whole thing off, used plastic card, cut it into half and then stuck it on. Do that both sides, yeah. Also on here, where you've got the armour plating on here, there was a little vent. It was just the shape of it. Sand that off. It doesn't exist. Now, I have got the Duke Hawkins book on this, and that was a major help. So you want to get that, because this is where it comes in handy. So on the underside of the wings, you get the lumps. So these are just basically flat. So all I used was thick plastic card, and then sanded it down, and that was it. And it's the same with these up here, and then you've got your 2 actuator covers for your aliens, which is the servo arm. So it needs those, it needs that, it needs these lumps for sure. I did chop all of the vents out on the bottom of the engines, thinking that it comes down, but when I looked on the RAF ones, they don't exist. So there doesn't seem to be anything there. If they are there, and they do exist, my God, they're so perfect that you wouldn't know they were there at all. But the Duke Hawkins book has a good look at them. Hang on a minute. Quiet! Jesus, we're not town. Girls. So yeah, so basically that's what that is. So I've just got to sand this one. Now this kit is a pretty damn good kit, but again it's another one of those. It's a bit of a filler queen. You know, again I've had to fill all this. So this lump here, I've had to do again because the kit one just shows you that little rectangle. It's actually got some shape to it. Also there's some lumps and bumps here, and then another little lump there. All that I've done plastic card using thick gauge card. On top of the engines, you get the inlets. These inlets, you have to do that on all 4. They've all got that now. Also on the underside is the fuel vents. So the kit doesn't come with them, so you have to do them as well. Then when you get to the rear end, you've got the strengthening plates that sit on there. They're like 2. I don't know if I can. There, let's say there's 4 little different sized. These 3 are the same. The end one's the smallest. Then you got these 2 lumps here. I can't remember what they are. And then you got a bulge there, and then you got some bits and pieces on the back. So you have to put all that on. All in all, amazing kit. It is what it is. It's got quite a detailed copy. I know you can't really see it, but there's all. I think there's decals to go in there as well. The in-flight refueling boom. Well, as per usual, mine decided it would break off, same as it did the last one I built. It snapped off. So lucky enough, it just snaps off in a clean line because of the join there. Because basically you've got the probe, and then you've got this bit here that glues onto it. So the weak point is this little half here, this half. So you've got this half is a piece, and then this half is the probe and the piece missing. So it always snaps off. So all I did was drill a hole, peg, hole in the other side, peg, and then the peg just slots in the hole, whichever one you want. But with the probe, it doesn't come with a refueling end, so you've got to find something 72 scale. So what I found was that in the Airfix Harrier GR7/GR9 kit, 72 kit, you get the refueling probe up and you get the refueling probe down. Well, the one that sits up, if you don't want to put it up, just snip the end off and stick it on this one. Worked perfect. Perfect little end to it. Now, the other thing as well is these have come along quite a bit. So they've actually got some sort of laser search here, and then there's an ECM here in a pod. And then with that, you get the different wingtip. Now, I've did this with the last one I built, or the first one I built. It's up to you whether you want to go that far, but personally, to get the laser system that sits there in the pod there, you got a bit of sodding about to do, so I just couldn't be bothered with this one. I thought, you know what, most of them are like this anyway. There's only a few that are a small number that have got that on. The only other thing is like where you got the drip, so I'll put the drip over there, which is just a thin piece of plastic card, and then moving on to the back, you can see that there's a door here. Well, this is actually like the brake for when the paratroopers go out the door. So that's a lump. So I made that out of plastic card and rod. I then put a drip above there as well. So that's all done. And you do that on both sides. So there's another one there. I thought I was a knock at the door then. Also, it says for you to glue all this undercarriage in. Don't bother. Just glue these pods on. The undercarriage can go in afterwards. It all fits. Just glue the pod on and get your pods looking nice and straight to start off with before you do anything else. What else was there? Was there anything else? So I did the door closed on the front because I couldn't be bothered to do bits and bobs. There's also a lump here which is on the door. It's like a ground stop. I don't know words. I know on the Herc there was a big block underneath. It was made of hardwood. I used to, if it ever touched down hard, it would hit that. But that's not this. There is another little lump there that's rectangular shaped. So I made that. Didn't come with that. All in all, it's a nice. It's big. All in all, it's big, but it is a nice kit. This is the colour. So I ran out of that and I've had to get some more. The other thing as well is there's a strip that comes down the front of the nose and there's also a camera. So I've had to make that and I've had to put that strip that comes down to there. So most of the nose is satin black, but the bit at the end, this bit here that hasn't got anything around it, no lightning strips going onto it, that's matte. So what you can do is you can spray that matte first, just get the plane in a pot of mask fluid, just dip it in it up to the point where you see that, and then that's it. And then you can spray the rest of it in satin black. Aerial wise, there's a few aerials on it. Again, what I use to do the panel lines is I'll just use a knife blade, thin scalpel blade. That's what does it, because you don't really see them as it is anyway, unless you bang up close to the damn thing in real life. But like most aircraft, panel lines tend to disappear at distance. All in all, it's a nice kit. It's a nice size kit. I mean, I think in all the years I've been going to model shows, I don't think I've seen one on a table. Not one. Not where I go anyway. There has been at model shows. There's been a few of them kicking about, but all the ones I've been to, I've never seen one, and definitely never seen one with all the correct bits and bobs on it. So that's the A400M Atlas, but that's the RF Legends one, or the British Legends one. I can't remember what they call it now. And then last but not least, Appliance White. So Halford's Appliance White used to look like that. It doesn't anymore. It looks like that. So when you get it, it's virtually the same size tin, a little bit bigger. Still costs a tenner, but it's now called gloss spray paint and white, and there's the code numbers on the top for the new one and the old one. So, and there we are. Is there anything else that I can finish off with other than that? Great Wall Hobbies A10. Still haven't finished it, but I got this far with it. So it's all ready for decals now. So hopefully I'll get some of them on, because I've got a Model Fest at, I was going to say Farnborough, it's not at Farnborough anymore, it's at Fleet now. So Model Fest at Fleet is this weekend, this Sunday coming on the 8th of September. I'll be there with my club. Hopefully have this on display. I was hoping to try and get the A400 on display as well, but it all depends on how much chance I'll get between now and Sunday to actually get things finished, because the kids have been off, and I must admit production's been bloody slow, and that's probably why I haven't been on the internet very much. I've made a few kits, I've done a few things, but I've got a few more little bits and bobs that I managed to stick together. So so on that note, I'm going to leave you lovely people to get on with your day or your week or your weekend, whenever you choose to watch this. Right, anyway, thanks very much for your viewing. Thanks very much for your subscribers, to all my subscribers, every single one of you. If I knew who you all were and you all lined up and all come and said hello and shook my hand, that's what I'd like to do, but I'll do it here. Thanks very much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you. It's a real pleasure to have everybody on board. At least if you watch me for 5 minutes and you get bored, then so be it. But I've done the video. You can just look at them when you like, however you like. Just share them about, or if there's anything that's worth sharing, share it. I've started to make playlists now of all the stuff that I'm doing. So I'm actually going to knock quite a lot of the old videos on the head because they're not really worth watching. Nobody really watches them anyway. But all the new ones, I mean, especially what now Airfix has brought out that 24 scale Mark 8 spit. Well, I've got another Mark 9 that's sat over there, so I will be doing that on the channel. But I've got to say this now because I now know that I'm virtually 2/3 of the way into this bloody magazine collection. But what I have got, and I want to put on my channel, I can't wait to actually get and do this. Now, World of Wayne, he did a run of this, and it was because of him that I basically went and got this thing. So you probably know it. Well, no, you might not. Anyway, it is Valentino Rossi's M1 motorbike in quarter scale. So it is bloody massive. It's bloody heavy. Now, I've got most of it. I've had a look, and I've got about another 6 months to go of magazines, and it's finished. So I was sort of thinking maybe I might start in January. I've had a look. I've had to check through the parts because when you buy the thing, it gives you a log of what they've sent you, and there was 2 months worth that I've had a look, and they've basically, I've paid for them, they've sent them, but it's showing I haven't received them. So I've got my daughter and myself to go through it. Excuse me, and I've got it, so I don't need to worry about it. So I'm going to ignore that. But yeah, the only thing with it is all the fuselage parts, all the tank fuselage. You can tell I'm an aircraft builder, can't you? So all the tank, the fairings, and the seat hump, they're shiny, but they're not gloss. So what they need is probably this stuff. So I might have to get another can of this. And this is Mr. Super Clear Gloss, but this is not the UV one. It's the UV one that I want. But when I went to Model Works in New Haven, they didn't have any UV clear gloss, which is what I want. But this is the next best thing. It's still the same. Yeah, only all it means is that if you put the kit in sunlight, then the UV light will affect the paint as such. So if I can get UV clear, which I'm going to have a look for it at the show. You never know, Mark or Andy might pick some up for the shop, depending on who watches this video. I've also got so apart from that, I've also got the British touring car Audi winner to finish as well. I started it basically. I just had a bit of a going through a difficult patch in life, and I basically stopped everything. I just lost interest in all of this. I was just trying to get myself out of the mires and back onto the normal road. But since then, this is why I've been doing stupid things like 737 and the A400. It's trying to get back into the swing of things because I don't want to damage or ruin nice models for the sake of just being not in the right frame of mind, especially seeing as I was being sponsored to do the Audi, so I definitely didn't want to ruin that. But since then, I can't remember. I had there was another car that I had, and I pulled it out, and I thought to myself, do you know what? Oh, it was a Super Impreza. And I thought, right, well, I know it's a rally car, but I thought, right, rally car. So I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll get it up to scratch, and then I'll bring the DTM and I'll do them side by side. But the Subaru I might not, because that's just a car. It's not not anybody's car really. So yeah, but most of all, the Agostini motorbike, the big quarter scale Rossi one. Yeah, I've got that. Like I say, I've only got 6 months worth of magazines left to collect, and yeah, it should be interesting. I've never built anything that big. At least not a model anyway. I've built models bigger, but they've been flying models like you know, like aeroplanes of certain things. But yeah, no. Anyway, it's 25 minutes of bullshit I've just got through. If you like, subscribe. If you don't worry about it. But yeah, it just all helps me go a bit further. So it's all free. It's all free information for you. I don't charge, unlike a lot of them do. And you know, I just get a little bit of cup of tea money from YouTube when they decide they want to pay us. So yeah. Anyway, on that note, thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next one. I can't remember what I was doing now. I think the A10 I need to finish off, so like I say, blah, 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 blah. And then hopefully get back to normal and whatever else, because the kids go back in 2 days' time, so yay, bloody good riddance. Anyway, take it easy, guys and girls, and I'll see you in the next one.